Hello, welcome back to Limited Insight and episode 9 of the Granny Annexe build. It's week 11 of the build now and we're really taking shape on the inside. We have walls, we have wires. Let's get into this week's updates. So we had 4 days worked this week, taking us to a total of 40 days worked so far. So that's 8 weeks in total, allowing for 5-day working weeks. This week the builders didn't turn up on Monday or Tuesday, moving house apparently. So Wednesday the roof got finished by the main contractor's brother, all but 2 tiles on top as we didn't quite have enough. Who knows when they'll get fitted. Thursday then, and the windows in the living room are temporarily covered with the waterproof membrane to make the building watertight to a certain extent, enough that we could crack on with the interior fit out. The internal walls were erected to separate the main living space from the bedroom and bathroom. These are set up to put the door at a 45-degree angle into the bedroom. The frame is erected, ready to fit insulation and plasterboard later. Batons are also fixed to the ceiling joists, ready for plasterboarding next week. Saturday came and the electrician comes in to do the first fix. This involves setting up all of the wiring before the walls get finished and plastered. So includes everything needed for power sockets, light switches, kitchen, water heaters, panel heaters, and of course lights. Everything was pre-planned, but inevitably there were a couple of last minute changes, mainly in the lighting department. The spaces required a few more spotlights than originally planned, so wiring was added to accommodate these. It's important when planning these projects to have enough sockets and switches, so you really have to think about how you're going to use the property, whereabouts you're going to be moving. For instance, walking into the bedroom here, the door hinges on the left, giving you a nice flow into the bedroom where you can then operate the door to the bathroom with the hinges on the right. So you've never got doors in your way sort of thing, and everything has a nice even flow to it. The same thing with the sockets and switches. You always want to make sure you've got power where it's going to be needed, so you have to think about scenarios of where you're going to be using electricity and what you're going to need to plug in and where you're going to be at the time. Sockets as well, you're going to need to switch on a light when you enter the property, and you're going to need to maybe turn it off when you go to bed. So it's no good the light switch being all the way over by the door. So the addition of a second light switch by the bedroom door is just going to make life a lot easier when turning lights off. We've also had to make sure we've got enough sockets for the kitchen in the right places for things like the oven, hob, extractor. We've also added sockets underneath the sinks for the bathroom and kitchen. This is because we've not quite finalised how hot water is going to be provided yet. So that wrapped up week 11. Not an awful lot happening really, not an awful lot to report on. We have had to have a word with the builders because we're not quite happy with the amount of work that's being done at the moment, or days attended on site, too many excuses being made, days taken off, which is what's contributed to getting us behind on the original completion date. But progress is still being made. Next week there should be even more. More plasterboard should be going up, and we should have some work done on the drainage system, because at the moment it's still not connected up to sewers, so that work needs to be carried out next week in time for the inspection from the council. So yeah, hopefully a bit more will get completed next week and we'll have a bit more to report. Until then, bye bye.